So highest intention, see, letting go and letting come is like a process, right?
Mhm.
And co-creation is also like a process.
Okay.
But what is the intention? What is the highest aspiration? Like what's the
Yeah,
vision?
moving from ego to eco.
Okay, good. So we're creating an eco space, right? Creating something in the eco space.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I think let's do one thing. Let's hear each question from everybody, right? And then maybe that might help us to kind of sense something beyond just listening to the whole thing as a one thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's hear the answer to the question, son, right? That part from everybody.
From everybody. Okay.
Yeah. Dashi?
Yeah. So highest aspiration and intention for this work is that we, the eco leaders, partnering with the local members of communities, to create spaces for sustainable living for all. Food
Very good.
and nature protected. Food for all and nature is protected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'll go next.
Yeah.
People, organizations, social organizations, connected people, listening deeply and compassionately, and co-creating simple, sustainable results that the whole world wants.
Okay, very good. Somebody else?
Creating a humane society.
Okay.
Life of dignity for all beings with basic needs.
Okay.
For me, to be holding space to the emerging future. In sense, leadership.
Okay. Good. Aljo?
Women expressing leadership and contribution, uplifting the quality of life for women with young children in the rural areas of the Philippines.
Okay. For me, what came up was peaceful, happy planet. And for me, this is the first time ever I have had space for this word happiness. It was always some nonsense for me. Like, what is this BS called happiness? Right? That's like personal responsibility. People want to be happy, they'll be happy. They don't want to be happy, they will not be happy. Right? It was so when I did this for the first time in the Ulab 2X session, I had something similar what came up, and then I did it today just before the session, and again that came up.
Did you see your face in the mirror?
Yeah.
There is absolutely no crease on your forehead. It's like one happy Buddha.
Great. Did everybody share? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Wang, did you share?
Yeah,
Yes.
she did.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, okay, great.
Wang is not. Yeah.
What did you share, Wang, just for my reference?
To be the holding space for the emerging future.
Okay, great. Very good. So now then let's look at the source. What do you need to bring this aspiration into reality fully? What do I need to let go of and what do I need to let come?
Yeah. So Manoj, basically when I was answering each of these questions, I didn't have any specific project or anything in mind.
Yeah, it's okay.
I visualized myself being in that call the other day,
Yeah.
and then started answering these questions.
Okay, no problem.
No, so the source I've written, I need to let go of thinking small about myself, and I need to let come the space for things to emerge.
Very good. Great. Somebody else? Go ahead. What do you need to let go? What do you need to let go?
Yeah, I have to let go. Downloading judgment, fear, and cynicism. Closed our mind and will. I am not capable. This is not possible. These things.
Right.
What I have to let in, let come, is this. Yeah, compassion, co-creation. Yeah, curiosity, courage. Open mind, open heart, open will. I am quite capable. We can do it. That is
Okay.
what.
Very good. Great.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to let go that this can't happen.
Hmm.
And I let come partners like, coming in, like letting come, like
Yeah.
not, no have, like when that, when that floodgate opens, how the water rushes.
Yeah.
So people from all strata of society are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Anybody else?
Okay. I'll say that let go of that we are alone,
Hmm.
that no one is listening to us,
Hmm.
or we need to go faster,
Hmm.
or that we have to, do something like make money out of this.
Hmm.
And also let go that the question, are we really capable of this future?
Right. Very good.
And let come, people are connecting with us, engaging with us in dialogue and co-creation.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I'm letting go of the fear of
Hmm.
getting my heart crushed,
Hmm.
and
Again.
I'm letting come the courage to be vulnerable and to express love.
Good. Very good.
That was something that was for me yesterday was a big deal. Aljo, thanks for sharing that.
That was a surprise for me too.
Yeah, I
In
don't
fact,
want to get crushed again.
I could get in touch with a lot of things when you shared heartbreak. Yeah, that is something that I have been putting under the carpet for quite some time.
Yeah. I, and also I had this personal experience of both the things. One is your extraordinariness, like the greatness, right? Like for me, you giving up your life in US and coming and slogging to build the landmark work in Philippines, right? And creating whatever you created, not only in Philippines, but everywhere else. But mostly that I can't imagine you gave up your life in US and build everything here, right? So I have been in touch with your extraordinariness, right? And then in the last couple of years that we are trying to work together, I have been also in the experience of I can't wake you up. Like I can't get you passionate about anything anymore. Right? Like you're there, you will be like, you're not going to run away, but you're there, but you're not that passionate, like you're not that, right? You don't have that heart in the game.
That madness.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize how hardened I've become.
Yeah. I was
Right?
like,
It's like,
and I'm like, why is this guy not taking the initiative? Why is he not doing this? Why is he not doing that? And it was like, yeah, it's like it makes sense in the context of what you shared, right?
yeah,
Okay. So it was a good completion for me.
what a great surprise.
Yeah.
It was very touching.
I think
Thank you. Thank you.
the floodgates, as she said, for the work to expand in all the countries that you are involved with, right? That can open up now.
Thanks.
Right. Of course, we don't want the floodgates for all the other kind of love to open up. Otherwise, you'll get distracted.
At least let him have one gate, no?
Yeah, I'm just pulling. Yeah, I'm pulling his leg. He was interested in one of the film actresses from India.
Le jao, le jao,
Oh,
le jao.
by the way, that's also one area that I really saw really clearly, right?
Yeah.
Like never, like I'm not gonna let anyone get that close. Never.
Yeah. Never get the
So
heart.
the heartache was from everything, not only
Yes.
in like the work, but with women. Nothing. Like that was awesome.
Yeah. Weng?
I'm letting go of the little girl.
Yes.
The small
Weng the
and
kid.
sweet and nice. But it's always there when I feel like I'm with powerful people. Like there's hierarchies. I'm letting go of that. And
Yeah.
I'm also letting go of doubt and feeling lost.
Yeah.
And I'm letting come we got this and it will flow.
Very good. I'm letting go. I know, and I also letting go. I don't know.
Mm.
Right? Like the whole thing of knowing and not knowing. And I'm letting come new people, new pathways, new paradigms, new possibilities. Okay. The next question.
Seeds.
Sensing. Did we say seeds? Yeah, okay.
Seeds. Yeah.
Where do we see the seeds, the beginnings of the future now?
I've written my family and environment to start with
Very
and
good.
keep expanding,
Great.
to people in my life.
Okay. Very good.
For me, it is in the work we are already currently doing, my own core team and my core team's communities. And my core team is in not only India, it's also in Kenya. So including
Are you talking about Mitra or are you talking about something else?
no Mitra group
Mitra.
only. In that we are taking the nutrition now forward.
Yeah, okay, good. No, because you're also involved with other things. No? That's why I was just,
Yeah, this is the main thing. Yeah.
this
The
is the
other
main
thing is
focus.
like, going
Okay,
on.
good, very good. Somebody else?
Baswa.
What is seeds?
Yeah,
30 branches flowering as human society for basic necessities.
Can you repeat? I didn't get you.
where do we see the beginnings of the future now?
Yeah.
Basava, go ahead.
30 branches means 30 districts in Karnataka flowering as human society for basic necessities.
Okay, good, thank you. Vivek?
So I see one, sharing with the community that we are all connected with, each of us. And second, of course, more of these transforming perception workshops and self workshops. I find that these two workshops are really a seed for that future. And third is meeting key stakeholders, either in organizations or from society or from NGOs.
Yeah.
I see those are the seeds for the future now.
Can I just take off for a few minutes and come back?
Yeah.
I'll just attend to something and come.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no problem.
Yeah,
Azure?
no.
Yeah, Ven, go ahead.
The seed, us in our group and other members of the alumni, and my group with the here in the Philippines. And I also want to sense the environment as who are the possible seeds for now.
Right. Very good. Azure? You're on mute.
Recreating relationships with old partners
Right.
and connecting with new partners and future leaders around my community.
Right. Very good. One of the place where I can see the seeds is the work that we have done and we're doing as the seed for this happy planet, right? Like what I got is when people can get connected to their higher self, that's the source of the real fulfillment and happiness. There's nothing else to be done for people to be happy or for the world to be happy except to get connected to their higher self or highest self. So I can see that as the seed. And I also saw like connecting to happy people and small children as the seeds. And then from this perspective of I don't know why I wrote this, but I also saw schools and parenting as the seeds.
Wow.
Okay, good. Let's look at sensing. What places of most potential could teach us about what we are trying to do?
For me, it was about, going to the roots
Right.
and learning from them. There's nothing to invent. There's already that native wisdom, knowledge, everything is there. So really going back to the roots and reconnecting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have any place in mind when it came, or any group in mind when it came, like connecting to the roots?
Yeah,
Like for
yeah.
me,
There is, yeah.
Nepal came up in my mind.
Wow.
Like
So,
when you're talking about happiness, right?
yeah.
And the GNH, the whole concept of GNH, right? Gross national happiness, instead of the
Bhutan or Nepal?
Bhutan.
Bhutan.
Bhutan, Bhutan.
Bhutan.
But that is the fact. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
care about
got
the fact. This is what crossed my mind. Yeah.
Manoj, I'll connect you to Nepal in a big way.
Yeah.
And they're very happy people. I just love, I work with them. I love
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. So Nepal,
Usha also
Bhutan,
knows everybody there. Usha knows lots of people there.
Okay.
Nepal and
Usha
Bhutan.
worked there for many years.
In Ethiopia, I think she worked.
She worked in Nepal
Nepal.
before Ethiopia was born.
Mhm.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Jayashree,
Right, yeah. The
anything else for
prototypes
you?
we have,
I'm done.
Okay. Go
What
ahead.
places, yeah, Baswa, what
Yeah.
places of most potential could teach us
Yeah. the
about what we
prototype-
are trying to do?
The prototypes we have already done in Davangere needs to be scaled up, and the inspiring projects done by the others.
Okay. Very
No,
good.
but what will teach you? The question
Yeah,
is,
those
what can
prototypes
teach you?
that you can go back to those prototypes to learn something.
Okay. So for me, what I wrote was to interview current participants. A lot of participants who've done our programs with us,
Right.
and ask them about what's working and what's not working,
Right.
and what could we do better.
Right. So, yeah. So the alumni group, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anju?
Yeah.
Wayne, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Ako
Go ahead,
muna.
Wayne.
Yeah, for me, it's like just like with Vivek, like the alumni class and do stakeholders interview, I think, or empathy walk to find out like where we will go. And the other is like, the other women.
And you
in
you
my-
mean the whole gang, or you mean the Philippines gang?
the Philippines.
Yeah.
For
okay.
me, like it's for
Yeah,
Philippines.
because there will be different dynamics. That's why.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
might be similar dynamics, but they still need to be experienced differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Thank you, Anju.
Yeah, what I wrote down is marginalized areas where women with children are most impacted.
Hmm. Good. Vijay?
Yeah. Sorry,
You're
I
looking at sensing.
don't sensing. Okay. When I'm not in this space, just looking at what download I have and what I need to bring forth.
Hmm.
Pausing is something that I was looking at.
Okay. So here, so one is you're kind of going to your internal space, right, and pausing. But you could also look at what are the places outside, right, where you could go, which are the places of most potential that can teach us about whatever we are trying to do, right?
I couldn't get very clear about that when I was writing.
Okay, no problem.
And I missed the sharing also here.
Yeah, no problem. So like you looked at your highest future aspiration, right? And then we can look at from that place, where can you learn more about it? right? But don't worry too much. Okay,
Okay.
let it be.
I mean, I can share one example from my side, Vijay,
Yeah.
that
Mm.
given I want the world connected, I want people connected, and right. And one of our prototypes is our workshops, right? So what I said is to interview participants, interview you and other participants to find out what's working with what we are doing and what's not working and what could we do better.
Okay.
Just asking people, right?
Hmm.
Like that.
For me, as I shared earlier, I saw it as Nepal, Bhutan as some place to study inside of the context of creating happy planet. And then I also looked at studying happy people and happy communities.
Wow.
And yeah, across the happy communities across the country, across the world. It's like I never thought of it, and I always thought all those people who are doing this kind of work, I was like, okay, fine, yeah, there are many ways to waste time in life. Okay, next, what was the next question, guys?
Living microcosm.
Yeah, living microcosm, right? So let me read the question again.
What could we do to explore the future by doing?
Yeah, very good. So what did you write, Vijay?
Yeah.
I need to look at what's my old patterns and keep looking at, what I need to let go of.
No, it's like, what experiment could you do? The meaning of this question could also be, what experiment can you do, right?
Okay. Okay.
No problem.
Which is the old landmark, internal work only. Whatever has to be done, I have to check inside me only.
Exactly. That's how I have written down, and I'm catching myself.
Yeah. Well, so I think prototyping is about taking an action in the world
Okay.
and failing and learning from that failure.
Okay.
This is an exercise on vertical prototyping.
All
So
right.
it's all about action. What action can we take in the world? We must fail while we take the action. And we must learn
what
from
I
that,
learned from that failure.
so that we can then make another prototype and improve on it. But there will still be failure.
Fail.
And again, we'll learn from that. So this is the whole process of prototyping, is to fail and learn and fail and learn and fail and learn until we create a prototype that works perfectly.
I got the context now.
Testing hypothesis.
Okay. I really got the context now,
Yeah.
until this time.
Yeah, no problem.
I what I'm confronting in all these sessions is like, how much I need to unlearn.
Welcome to the game.
And don't be in a hurry. Don't measure it also. Please remember, we are exactly in the same place. We're just 5 years older. That's all. But we are all doing this. You will not believe, transforming self-work. Buddy, Manoj and I, we've done this on ourselves at least 3-4 times already. And every time this fear comes up, कि अभी और छोड़ना पड़ेगा क्या? मतलब अब कितना छोड़ेंगे यार? And I'm telling you, the fear is there at that moment. I'm afraid these two guys are again going to catch me and make me give up something. It's like that kind of feeling.
Okay.
And you're nothing to give up.
You're in a normal place. Just don't measure it. That's all.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vivek. You made me so comfortable now.
That's me. That's what Manoj is upset about. I have to give up making people comfortable.
Every time Vivek is helping people in the session, and I am sending the message to Ferdy, again, he's back on his trap. So we are committed to have Vivek give up helping. Okay, so let's speed up a little bit, okay?
Okay. So I want to say something here. What happened was I caught myself. You know, I caught my cynicism and skepticism about this charity world. I took on this experiment would be in the Somanahalli village. And there is a father, and then there is a whole group of people and the charity. And generally it's about collecting money. And I'm so scared of that. I'm scared of, they are great people, they do great work. But I'm scared of their request and demand for money all the time. I caught myself having such a like buzz in my head, you know, and I'm like, I saw floodgate opening, right? But I'm putting those barriers, you know, like all those, you know, those places we have to lock, the water should not flow out. I just caught, and I'm so closed. I just need to go and experiment because Father George will be my best companion. He will simply do what I ask him. I know for sure. And I was stopping him. So I just got present. So what I'm taking on is going to the Somanali village. And then that's my prototype. I'm experimenting with the nutrition over there.
And just a little bit to continue your conversation, Jayashree.
Yeah.
I am coaching Karuna Trust, the core team of Karuna Trust, Basava, Mahima, and Usha. And this Friday we had a session. And what we distinguished for them was lots and lots of sources of money. So we did three important conversations. One is lots and lots of sources of money. Like second, we distinguished they don't need money at all. Right? So we distinguish both these worlds, right? So one is the lot of sources of money. Secondly, they don't need money at all. Okay. And what was the third element, Basava?
Wastage in every organization. Prevention of wastage in every organization. Eight wastage of
Yeah. But there was one. But there was one more dimension which I forgot right now. But this was very critical, like abundance of money, sources of money, and that they don't need money at all.
Right. Powerful. I stand there because I'm clear, but I was being powerless.
Yeah, especially for the NGO world, this distinction is missing.
Yes.
And if they have this distinction, right?
They can impact more. They can impact more. Yeah.
We are working on their strategic thinking for this trust. Okay, Karuna Trust.
Awesome. That itself is a prototype for the charity world. You know?
Yeah. And also Basava can share with you the charter that we created for Karuna Trust.
Okay. Yeah. That session gave us lifeline for us and also inspiration, Manoj. Otherwise, we were left with where is the money, how to do, what to do. Yeah, even without money is a great inspiration again. 2 seats in a school. Yeah, 50 seats got easily.
Wonderful.
So why I'm sharing that with you, Jayashree, is part of this whole intention that Aljo shared, that we could be making a difference with all those NGOs.
Yes.
Right. All organizations like all who are making a difference. We could make a difference with them. Absolutely. In many ways.
They need it. We need it.
Yeah. Good. So Aljo has a sense of it. So Aljo, I was working with Karuna Trust on their strategy map. And then inside of that, altering the way they look at finances and the way they look at all those various stakeholders. Right. Okay.
So my answer to this question, what could we do to explore the future by doing? One of the things I have written is creating sessions where we listen to them rather than pitching, selling, teaching, coaching, transforming. Just listen to them and then co-creating with them solutions that are sustainable and then designing interventions accordingly.
Okay, very good. Somebody else, living microcosm?
Like for me, it's like, I'll go ahead, Basava. It's like creating the Ulab kind of experience of holding the space for people's project, something like that.
All right. Okay. Hey, Vivek, can you let go of whatever you just said? Because you have been in that conversation tunnel for years now.
About the prototype?
Yeah, prototype and listening and sensing. The way you're holding it It's like that's like the right answer, right?
I don't know. It just came out. I never answered this question before in my life.
Yeah, but I have heard the same answer from you 500 times. So see, it's okay. I'm just saying that let something
Yeah,
else also emerge.
okay.
Yeah. It's like it's management. What you said is management, okay? Not leadership.
But the question is, what can you do? So I'm just looking at what can you do?
Yeah. So what can you do? Like what can you do to explore the future by doing?
The thought that came to me is to meet people and find out whatever they are dealing with.
Okay.
That's
That's
the
one.
thing. That's
Yeah, that's one. What else?
meet people.
Okay. What else? Okay, no problem. Just kind of allowing other dimensions to open up. Yeah. Ajur, anything for you?
So I got like a two-phase thing. So first is a sensing journey
Hmm.
to the areas of the most potential,
Hmm.
with the intention to create an incubator for women with children and bringing the intersection of education, technology, and finance.
Okay, very good. Great. So Vivek, just crossing my mind again is just instead of asking people, which is one level, but actually doing sensing journeys may be a completely different world.
That's what I'm just didn't use the word, that's all.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But
No
I
problem.
really mean to do sensing journeys.
Okay, great. Very good. Very good. For me, what crossed my mind is doing a survey. Like what is like what is making happy people happy, or what is the source of people's happiness? And then inside of that, what got created next was people getting connected to their sources of happiness and fulfillment, and people getting connected to their higher self. And what I also see is we could lead our workshops, even the current workshops, from that context of creating a happy planet. And we could deliver the same thing, what we are doing, but from a different context of like people getting connected to their higher self, people getting connected to the source of happiness and creating a happy planet. Like I could see the access even in what we are doing right now, especially what we have what we have started to do in the last 6 months, right? Which is different from what we were doing earlier. Earlier, we were trying to create leaders for the organizations and leaders for the society. Now we decided that first we empower and enrich the leaders themselves, like create value for themselves instead of just looking at what they can contribute to the world. Basically, I recommend that you kind of review one of the courses, okay? Maybe you can look at the 5th, 6th March.
Okay. I'll look into that.
Yeah, and we just did a Hindi LFEF, and we are also exploring doing one in Tamil
Oh.
with Raj as the translator.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nallarkum.
Yep. Okay. So we have limited time, so that we can't go through all the questions the way we were going through. So why don't you just look at all the other questions that we have not covered and see what you would like to share out of that.
Good, we don't have time, Manoj, no, because then I see that it's all crap. What I've written is just crap.
Yeah, it's okay. Just let it go. Don't evaluate.
No, it's just not no given by the context that I saw now.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. In fact, the next thing I wrote itself is this: what inner and outer holding spaces. I wrote inner trust. Right. And exactly the previous question, it came up for me that I'm not willing to trust and let go and create that floodgates not opening, locking it. And then outer would be partnerships. Yeah, right. There are already partners waiting. I just need to bring them in.
You are another, I just saw that you are another dimension of Alger. and you got crushed in the past. And you opened your heart and you got crushed, right? So opening your heart again, squashed, right?
Neck was cut off violently.
Many times. So it just kind of crossed my mind. Okay, Joshua. Okay, and so just look at all your responses to the balanced questions and say if you want to say something out of that.
Like for me, Manoj, it's like decide on what project to take, like
Okay.
and come up with an with a prototype.
Okay. Good. Aljur, anything for you?
Well, this, to answer the next thing, which is the soil, right?
Yeah.
So for me, what I'm beginning to see there is really creating extended teams in the different sectors of business, government, and civil society, and really bringing them all together to be part of this whole initiative.
Okay. Great. Very good. So one thought. Yeah, go ahead.
For me, it's one only having a core team around this game.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the game?
Well, up till now, I was thinking it's inside of the highest aspiration. People connected, etc.
Right. Okay. Got that.
But like we are all having different conversations.
Yeah.
But if we were a core team, we could have some intention that we could be aligned around.
Right. Okay. Got that. Basava, anything for you?
For me, answering these questions brought me more clarity and inspired intention to move ahead with the projects.
Okay. Got that. Okay. So I request that if we can kind of extend the conversation by 5-10 minutes, because I'd like to kind of get aligned on something, if possible.
9:10.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. So one thought that had crossed my mind was that what do we do together, all of us, right? And one thought was that many of us have some projects, right? Or you're already involved with certain things, right? And we collectively hold the space for those projects, right? And bring all these principles from co-initiating to co-evolving, right? Make it available to all of us here so that you can then make it available to the people that you're working with, right? For example, Jayashree, this team can hold the space for the Mitra project.
Yes.
And we can provide coaching and whatever else you need for you and your teams, right? And that can allow the Mitra project to expand further and get enriched further, right? And then we can hold the space for each of the such projects that we have, right? Like Vaishali wanted to work with women in the STEM field, right? Science and technology field, like that, right? And then Vijay, you and Raj, you had shared in the first session that you're already involved with various NGOs and various social activities, right? And maybe all of us can hold the space for that, all those activities, and we can train you and your teams there into this and the whole spaces here, and it can get empowered.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Vijay?
Sounds so good.
Yeah.
Right. And it's also in sync with what Aljur had proposed, that we empower all the people who are already doing great work, right? Instead of we trying to do another great work. Like we be the, what they say, wind under their wings.
Perfect.
The oasis in the desert.
And then Wang, you have already been working on women empowerment, and the whole team you already have, right? Core team. Are you still active? Are you still active?
Yeah.
So would you like that we hold the space for your project and we
Yes.
invest and empower you and your team?
Yes.
as a part of Ulab 2X?
Yes.
Okay, great. And then Aljor, you're trying to create Theory U in Philippines and everywhere, right? In all the places. So maybe we can hold the space for that, or whatever else you would like us to hold the space for.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So you can look at that. And Basava is, of course, already Corona Trust and everything, and we can hold the space for that. Right.
Yes.
What do you think, Vivek?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then inside of this, what would also be happening is we would be creating certain courses, okay, certain sessions, like a half-day sessions kind of thing, or even full-day sessions, where you could come, and it would be complimentary, okay, and you could come with your teams and get trained on some of these principles, right? Like for basically the key principles of one is of the Theory U itself, the LFEF itself, and then also this whole game of co-initiating to co-evolving,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what Presencing Institute recommends is that we should be creating those kind of workshops for you and your teams. Okay.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, basically the NGO that me and Raj are a part of, it's quite old in the sense that, it's been running since 35 years and having various activities under that umbrella. I can see that, we can think of expansion.
Yeah.
And probably addition of a couple of more activities. Once this gets to whatever the existing programs are, seeing expansion, we can start including some more activities and then work on those things. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Okay, good. Another thought that crossed my mind, which I didn't share earlier, is it's not that we have to do all the training, right? For example, the basic LFEF based training, we could just train you, and you could conduct it. You could do it with your teams, and some of the things we could do for you. Some of the things we could train you to do it on your own in your teams.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
Powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
Fine. That's great.
Because then you can see why I'm saying that is for Vijay, for example, with your teams, right? They're already in the game. You know the dynamics. You know the local language, right? So when you are creating with them the principles, you can create them in their context, right? And we are fully available to support you in every possible way, but it's also leveraging your mastery of that context, which will make it more effective. Otherwise, right? And it gets you to be a leader in that conversation. Yeah.
Right. I get that. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
What do you think, Vivek?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Yeah.
We can help create some design modules, etc. And then you could lead them in the normal language that they normally listen to you.
Okay. So what we will do next time is we will look at the whole co-initiating to co-evolving from the context of your projects. What does, like, if you were to take your teams through this whole co-initiating to co-evolving, what does it look like, right? So I recommend that you come back thinking more about where you want where you want this team to source you, right? In what projects, what intention, and who are the people who are going to be involved with you, right? So just think on those lines. And if, of course, if any other ideas come up for you, we are most open for all of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. So let's wrap up. Why don't you wrap up by
Manoj,
saying what you want to say? Yeah, go ahead.
Manoj, what you just created in the past 5 minutes is really the prototype of that thing that I was suggesting. Being the source of all the change agents all around us, right? This is it. This is the prototype. I'm now I just got excited.
Yeah, and we are all leaders. We are creating leaders so that all of us can keep creating that everywhere, wherever we are.
Prototype. Yeah.
where we're multiplying ourselves instead of taking on a project. We
Yeah.
empower everyone to take on their projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we could do special workshops for NGOs, right? Whatever is required. Like if we had to do various workshops, like I recently did a workshop for Kotak Education Foundation, where they work for the municipal schools in the slum areas of Mumbai.
Oh.
So I did a 3-day workshop for their leadership team. And now they are going to also see if they can involve me with the work that they do with the school principals and the staff and all that. Jesse, you were saying something.
I was telling Aljor that, there's some of the Indian movies are there, especially in Tamil movies, where there'll be the god and there'll be one, demon. And what happens is when the god throws an arrow at the demon, the blood falls, and with every drop, another demon comes up. So there'll be like so many multiplication happening, but it's the action that creates that. And finally, the god finds a way of, absorbing all of them through his mouth and killing them all off. But it's so interesting that when you take that action, you can create that ripple. So I think Aljor got so excited that I got excited.
Yeah, Rakta Bijasara. Rakta Bijasara.
Rakta Bijasara.
Yes.
That's a version of Kali.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think we are aligned to empowering various social projects and social enterprises, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we don't,
so
we don't limit
before-
to your projects. You
Hmm.
can also include others if you want to include.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vijay.
So whatever lastly you created, Manoj, it got crystallized about all these things. Now I'm ready to do the prototyping.
Good.
Very good. Great.
Thank you.
Okay. So
So-
you got 2 minutes. So anything you want to say before we complete?
Yeah, that's what it. That's what I shared. A lot of things got
Wang, anything for you?
I'm excited too.
Okay. Jesse,
All good. Fantastic. Yeah.
Vivek?
All complete. Let's move.
Okay. Basava,
Yeah,
Aljor,
just
anything for you?
inspired. Just
Okay.
inspired.
Fantastic.
Hmm.
Aljor?
No, I'm just like excited about the future emerging.
Okay.
Mhm.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Thank
And
you,
we could also leverage our open courses.
Yeah.
Right? And as such, we generally have this policy of giving some subsidies to people from the NGOs. Okay. And then we could, as I said, we could also do some special separate work. Right? So we can do anything. So basically, we want to flow. Okay. Let's not have anything come as a barrier to making a difference.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.